Hey guys, it's Coop from Garage Gym Reviews. And today we are doing a roundup on the best weighted vest. This is a type of product that we see in a ton of garage gyms and home gyms, really because it's a way to add weight to body weight exercises. They're very versatile. You can use them for running, you can use them for push-ups, for pull-ups, all sorts of body weight type movements. You can also use them in different challenges. So we see them being used in CrossFit workouts and murph and things like that. And today we wanted to provide you the best weighted vests that are out there. But if you're into that sort of thing, and you should be, then you should subscribe. If you'd like to see any of these, check them out in the link below the like button. And if there's any that we didn't include in this review, make sure you let us know in the comments. Now, let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to go through and kind of just provide an overview of the ones that we have available here and the ones that we've tested. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm going to provide recommendations after I give overviews. I'm also going to go through why I like them and who I think they're for. This is a product category, like some other ones, where there isn't necessarily a clear-cut winner for everyone. I have a recommendation that I think is the best for most people, but depending on your situation, the type of training you do, type of competitions you do, how strong you are, your goals is going to determine which one you get. Also the price point, because these vary widely from all the way from $300 or so all the way down to like 45 bucks. And the reality is, some people just look at it as weight, and I understand that. So we're gonna talk about that. Now, let's talk about our contenders. Okay, I'm gonna start at the top and then just work my way through. First off, these top two are from Hypervest. These are basically a flexible style type weight vest that allows you to have a limited amount of weight you're using, but they feel a lot like a shirt. This is the Rogue Plate Carrier. It's basically designed in collaboration with the former CrossFit Games director, Dave Castro, to have something that they could use in their competitions that was ideal for people that were training there. By the way, I did talk to some CrossFit Games athletes that use these versus the 511, and they gave me some very good opinions. This is the 511 weight vest. This is really the one, when you think of a flakjack weight vest, this is one of the original ones. This was used in many of the CrossFit Games, very popular design, very pricey design, but I do think that it still has value today. This is the GoRuck Plate Carrier. This is very similar to their backpacks, but instead of harnessing the entire backpack, it just has a place for the plates. This is the Kensui Easy Vest. We've done a full review on this. One of the most unique weight vests that's out here. This is the Uncommon Breed weight vest. They don't make this anymore, so I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. This is the North Gym weight vest. One of the most popular and most reviewed weight vests on Amazon and at a very good price point. This is the cheapest weight vest you can buy. Is it good? We'll talk about it, but this is from Cat Barbell, 20 pounds and very cheap. This is the Condor weight vest. The Condor weight vest is one of the most popular, cheaper weight vests that are out there. It's very similar to a flakjack style, but it's very cheap, especially when you compare it to one like the 511. Is it as good? There's some good things about it. There's some very negative things about it. We'll talk about it in a moment. This is the new 511 TacTech Trainer. This one is similar to this one, except it's been upgraded in its components and its lightness. Is it as good, or would I recommend it over some of these others that are out there? Not necessarily, but we'll find out who it's for. This is the Invest weight vest. It's not crazy pricey, it's good in between, and there are some good features about it, but one of the things that's nice about it is it uses buckles instead of a Velcro system, which can be easier to get into. Now, let's get into my picks. Before we jump into the vest, we need to first talk about the things that go into the vest. I think this is a more important category and more important feature than most people give it credit to. The reason being, this is gonna affect how comfortable the weight plate vest is. Now let's show you the older style. This is the style that most of the cheap weight plates come with. This is the style that's been around ever since the flakjack style has been out, which is like the 511 tactical type of vest. That was really designed as a tactical weight vest to be used as body armor, and that's all this really is basically that cutout and then made not in a bulletproof sense, but made to just be heavy and be a certain weight. It was originally designed to protect you, and they just decided let's make them thicker and heavier so you can add weight to yourself. That's that style. Now there are other styles out there like this one, which is more of a ruck plate, same as this one. These are used in backpacks, in rucking. This one is very expensive. It works well, it's made in the USA, but weight is weight, in my opinion, on most of these types of things because it's just a square form. Titan makes one that is very cheap. We'll put a link below the like button. That is a similar style, similar weight, similar design as this, and works in the Go Ruck packs. But the design that I really like, and the one that has kind of been made most popular, is these designs right here. These are from Rogue, this one and this one. These have the same design, very similar dimensions. The difference is these are made in the US, these are made overseas, these are more expensive, these are less expensive. Other than that, when they're in the weight vest, they feel pretty much the exact same. So for most people, if you're just looking to save money and don't care about made in the USA products, just go with the Echo plates. They form and fit really well. But one plate that I actually like, I don't know better than that, but fits really good and is cheaper than that, are these North Gym plates, which you can get on Amazon. Then we have these two, which is a different design. So rather than using like a plate that fits in and you basically take them out, put them in, you can use these little ones in a hyper vest. And this is one of the cool things about their vest. This allows it to be very flexible and breathable. Or in the really cheap ones, these are actually sandbags. These are filled with sand and then they're placed in the cap barbell weight vest, very cheap. And then lastly, one thing you could do is get a vest that uses weight plates like these. But this is your option for weight plates. What you really came here for is weight vests. Let's get into my top pick. Okay, for most people in a home gym, they're gonna be doing a lot of different types of training with their weight vest. So they're gonna be running probably, they're gonna be doing some pull-ups with it, they're gonna be doing some push-ups, they're gonna be using it for dynamic movements, maybe using it for like lunges and things like that. So you need something that can kind of do everything and not get in the way. So because of that, I'm gonna pick for my top pick for most people, something that can be used really well for a challenge like Murph, because you're doing a lot of different movements from running, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups. So you need something that can both hit the weight increment of 20 pounds. This one can go all the way up to 40 pounds or heavier if you have heavier weight plates, and can be used for a lot of different things. So my pick is the Rogue plate carrier. The reason I like the Rogue plate carrier over some of the others that are out there, which our previous pick was the 511 Tech weight vest, is because it basically streamlined that, allowed there to be a whole lot less material, allowed it to not bounce as much, and basically made it so it's designed to be used for a variety of movements. This is essentially the CrossFit weight vest. I reached out to some CrossFit Games athletes after they had used it in one of the competitions. I think it was 2 years ago when it first came out. And I asked them, like, how did you feel about using this one versus the old 511s? And everyone I talked to was like, this is a vastly superior option. It was way more breathable, didn't bounce around as much, and it just wasn't as cumbersome. In fact, if you look at some of the Murph events with 511 weight vests, when you see them on the women, they just look massive on some of them. This is designed to work for just about everyone. Now, that doesn't mean it's cheap. This is not a cheap vest. So when I talk about pricing, I'm gonna be talking about the weight vest itself pricing, and then there's additional pricing on top of that for the plates. For this one, this is made in the USA, but it's 145 bucks. That's a really expensive vest when you think about it, when you also don't have the weight. So you have to buy the weight in addition to it. Depending on what weight you get, it can get all the way upwards of close to $300 when you include shipping. Now, this is a vest that you're gonna have for the rest of your life. It's gonna last a long time. It's very comfortable, padded on the inside, can take the weight vest that Rogue makes, and it's just designed for a lot of stuff. So that's why I'd recommend it. But I can understand if you don't quite have that much money to spend or have that much money budgeted for just a weight vest. So if you don't have that much money to spend, let's go to some of our other picks. Okay, before I go to some of my budget picks and ones that I'd pick for like really heavy weight, depending on your type of training you're doing, I do want to talk about my runner-up. And my runner-up is the new 511 Tech vest. This is basically the upgraded version of the old Tech design. This one took a lot of components that people liked on it, streamlined it, allowed a little bit more breathability, used a little bit lighter components so it isn't quite as heavy, and improves the comfort. So all throughout the ribbing you'll see here is this padded mesh material. Feels really good, very comfortable. The strapping system is also more comfortable and quicker. So it uses this breathable mesh material here, which you then strap around through the front, clip in and then can clip down, and there is holders on either side, pockets. This one is just a quick grab. This one is a zipper. I think it's really smart design because people are using these out on the trails. So having something you can actually store things in on the vest is nice, but it does lead to a bulkier vest. And the price isn't that much different from the Rogue One, despite the Rogue One being made in the USA. So this one, without the plates, is around 135 bucks when you include shipping. Pretty similar cost, and that's why it's my runner-up. Now, let me talk about one of my favorite picks, one that I recommend often, the one that I use in my garage gym, and the one that I recommend for people that are lifting with heavy weight. This next one is the most unique weight vest that's on here. This is a Kensui Easy Vest, and this is a vest we've reviewed in depth. I have this one, actually a couple of these at my garage gym. This is the one that if I'm using, like doing push-ups or pull-ups, things like that, I'm using this one. And the reason it's nice is because you can go very heavy, and instead of using weight plates, a separate plate that you have to buy and you have to use in your vest, and you can only use it in your vest, you can use Olympic weight plates. So you take a weight plate like this, unscrew it, place it on, spin the dial on, and then put it on. So you can get this very heavy. So if I put another 10 on the other side, I have a 20-pound, actually a little bit over a 20-pound weight vest that I can use in workouts like Murph. Now here's the rub, and this is the reason I don't recommend this to everybody, is one, it is a little bit more cumbersome and a little bit more uncomfortable when running. The other designs that distribute the weight more evenly over your body is a little bit more comfortable design for running. They just hold a little bit closer to the chest. This was really designed from somebody that did a lot of calisthenic training. Because they're doing a lot of calisthenics, they're using it on rings, they're using it on push-ups, and so they're not doing crazy like dynamic kipping type movements. They're doing slow and controlled, and this works really well for that. The problem that can introduce itself is it's not designed to go from like push-ups to sit-ups to pull-ups all in one without changing anything out. So I wouldn't recommend this for something like Murph. The reason being, you've got this big old pipe on the front, and that's going to prevent you from going all the way chest to deck. So you can do weighted push-ups. And I actually like this for weighted push-ups because you can put 45 pounds on your back or heavier here on the back, and it just sit there, and you can remove the front one simply by reverse thread, and suddenly you've got a heavy weight that stays secure on your back. So it works really well for that. Overall, the fit and finish and components on this are nice. The buckles that they use, this is the higher end model. I'd recommend probably the Pro model. It's a little bit cheaper and honestly isn't as nice at a fit and finish, but gets the job done. This one can go up to 300 pounds. The cheaper one can go up to 200, 250 pounds. So it's more weight than most people would ever want to use in a weight vest, but you can also use it for things that normally you wouldn't use for heavy weight on a weight vest, like squats and lunges and dynamic jumps and some of those other things that we don't see people using them as much for. So I do recommend this for people that want heavy weight, but you have to understand the caveat is this isn't going to work for people that are doing a lot of conditioning. And so if you're doing that, you may want to get something else or get both, because none of these can replicate what this does in the amount of weight that this can hold. The other thing to mention is that because you're using weight you already have, this one is much more cheap than these other ones that are up here. The middle model is around 150 bucks. So therefore, from a budget standpoint, it's actually pretty well priced. All right, let's get into actual budget options. Now this next pick is the opposite of somebody that wants to use heavy weight. This is somebody that's doing a lot of dynamic movement, doing a lot of running, doing a lot of walking, and this is the Hyper Vest. The one I like the best is the Hyper Vest Elite. It can go all the way from 10 pounds to 20 pounds, depending on which model you get. They use a unique weight system that are just these little doodads that go in these pockets and sit there. And so you can adjust the weight. Although it takes a little time, you can adjust it and remove them if you'd like, but it allows for a shirt-like fabric feeling that no other weight vest really can compare to. If you're doing dynamic work, if you're running, this is the most comfortable weight vest that's out there. I don't use this a ton because if I'm running or walking, I'm just running or walking, or I'm using a sled. I'm not doing a ton with weight vests personally, but if you're doing Murph, honestly, this is one of the most comfortable vests you can use for Murph because you can keep it tight. It's comfortable when you're running, it's breathable, works very well. But understand, it is a little bit more pricey than some of these other options and cannot get as heavy as most of these other options. After many requests, we've started to add a basically product category for certain people, and those are people that just want to shop on Amazon. Definitely understand there's people out there that like when you order online, it's very nice, just use Prime. you know what you're gonna get, you're able to return it, like there's just a lot of benefits from it, and you're willing to maybe pay a little bit extra. The one I'd recommend from Amazon, is this North Gym vest. It's not as nice as like the 511 or the Rogue, but it combines a lot of features you find on the 511, use a little bit lighter material and a little bit thinner cushion, but still allows you to have a good vest at a good price, especially because the price, which ranges from like 150 bucks to I've seen all the way up to 180, 190 bucks, but it does include the weight. So rather than having to buy it separate, you can buy it along with the vest. And the weight they use is actually a really good design because it's what they call their 3D molded design. So very similar to like what we see with Rogue's higher end plate, except instead of being a cast plate, it's actually a steel plate that then has been pressed over some sort of mold and fits and feels very comfortable against your body. This is a great vest for the price. I don't necessarily like it better than all the others I've recommended, but if you're just looking to shop on Amazon, this is honestly a good option. Okay, if you're on a budget, which I think most people starting a home gym are, and you're looking for a weight vest to add to your routine, your regimen, I would recommend a lot of people look first for budget because you can use the plates from a budget vest on a higher end vest, and you need to figure out if a weight vest is something you're actually going to use, and some of these weight vests get pretty expensive up front. So somebody that's looking for a budget vest, this is our budget pick. This is the Condor weight vest. This is one that I don't think it's like the best that's out there. There are better options. Some of the connection points, they're plastic. The adjustments, they can come loose pretty easily, which is very annoying. It's not the most comfortable or most breathable vest. It's not gonna be the longest lasting. I've heard and read some people that have talked about the stitching coming out. So there's just a lot of things about it that like you get what you pay for. But for somebody that's just looking for a flakjack style vest that is cheap, this is one of the best ones. At around $50 or so, you add in shipping, probably gonna be about 60 bucks. You buy the plates, you're gonna be able to get a weight vest for under or close to 100 bucks. That's a pretty good price and allows you to do a wide amount of options and decide if using a weight vest is actually something you wanna do. But we have one that we'd say is even cheaper than this one. That is this guy. This is the Cap Barbell weight vest. This is probably the volume-wise best-selling weight vest in the world if you go on Amazon. It's got thousands and thousands of reviews. The reason being, this is really your cheapest entry point for the maximum amount of weight that you can get. $45 for a 20-pound weight vest. If you're looking to do Murph and you're just like, I just want to spend the cheapest amount possible, like I want to do a 20-pound weight vest because I want to do it RX, what one should I get? I'm only going to use it 1 year probably. Like if your expectations are that this isn't going to last a long time, that there are going to be some seams that rip, it's going to be a little bit annoying to use, it's not super breathable, then I wouldn't mind recommending this. It's $45, 20 pounds. It uses sand in these little bags that insert into here. They don't like, trust me, sand does come out of these because they're not stitched very well. But this is a great entry point. And what I love about home gyms and I love about products like this, it allows people to reach their goals without spending a lot of money. So I can definitely understand and would recommend. I don't see this as a don't buy anything or buy the really expensive. This is a category where I have no problem recommending cheaper options because you can buy this very cheaply, decide if you're really going to use it, and after you've used it a lot, like go buy something more expensive, like reward yourself with something more expensive after you've gotten this one and you're only out 45 bucks and you've been able to get a lot of use out of it. So this is the cheapest ultra budget pick that I'd recommend. All right, that's a lot of weight vests. There's a lot here. We even have other ones, like if you're into rucking, like GoRuck makes some good options here, which you can use their backpack style or this one individually. But overall, these are our picks after using, testing, and reviewing the myriad of options that are out there. Are there any that you've used that you wish we would have included, that you think we've missed? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, this is Coop from Garage and Reviews. Peace.